What is love if it don't hurt me no more. Dun, 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 dun. What is love? Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the iYAP podcast. I am your host Megan Albright.
Yap, you, yap, 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 you, yap. Yap, you, yap, 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 way up, yappa, yappa. Yappa, yappa, yappa. Megan Albright is a yappa.
Let's just take a deep breath to pinch me, appreciate me, and yell at me for have not been posting. Is that correct English? I don't know. Correct me if it's not correct English. But because I haven't been posting on the podcast, and I'm gonna tell you guys the reasons why. Then I'm going to dive into today's topic, which is the whole Afronation thing. I know a lot of you guys saw me living my best life on Instagram, on Snapchat. You know, the girl was drinking and doing what they call this on the jet ski, left and right, and all of this fun stuff. And so you're thinking, like, Megan, are you lazy because you've been enjoying life a little bit too much? Guys, a lot has been happening, okay? So by the way, thank you guys for watching again. And for all who have been sending me messages, telling me they love the podcast, telling me to make longer videos, I am finally listening to you. So now, what happened to me? Why was I gone? Why have I been a lazy biatch? So, before the summer holiday, I had a surgery because of something that happened last year, and it just really put me in a space of like, okay, now I can finally heal from a situation and I can move on with my life. But again, it's summertime and I was working so much, and it's the first time that I was going to have a summer holiday to actually relax because hey, a girl like me that goes to work all the time, literally you guys have seen me on my TikTok, like I will go live on TikTok because I'm at work, you understand? So for someone who always works all the time, it got to the point where I was like, I need to have a proper holiday. I need to have free from work, free enough to enjoy my life. I'm only 22. I don't know. Why am I acting like I'm an old woman when I'm not? Why am I living my life like I'm an old woman when I'm not? Why am I putting myself in situations that a woman with 6 kids needs to put herself in to sustain her family when I'm not? I'm single too. So it was the first summer holiday that I was going to have in years. And I just wanted to enjoy. I wanted to let myself breathe, not think too much about expectations for others, but focus more on expectations for myself. And one thing I've learned about myself is like, not like if you tell me to do it, I won't do it, but I rather do it because I want to, not because someone is telling me to do it. In other words, I'm stubborn. Like my parents have been telling me and I've been denying it, but yes, I am. So it got to the point where it's like, even if I were to push myself to, let's say, pre-record episodes just to push it out, it has to be something that comes from me. It has to be like, okay, Megan, I have to learn something from that situation, if you understand. And I'm here today because I've learned that I've been procrastinating. I was thinking I was going to wait until I was ready, or which I was waiting for. But when you procrastinate or when you keep pushing things, it happens that time flies faster than we can imagine, or faster than we think. And so now it's been 2 months and it's like, okay, what's happening? You understand? So time is flying fast, but guys, the weeks are going with the speed of light. You understand? So that's what has been happening. And so when I came back, I was like, okay, I need to wait to like settle down. When you leave, when you've been on holiday that you've been enjoying and enjoying and enjoying, especially with alcohol. Oh, hey, you need time to settle down. You need time to like get back to your normal self. And I feel like I needed that time personally because, yeah, again, I don't really be chilling too much on the regular. So it's only so much alcohol, only so much drinking, only so much dancing, palaver that I can take. And also matters of the heart. It tire me. So all of that happened. I came back and I was like, okay, a break. The break took too long. And I have been at my studio doing other stuff except sitting down to make a podcast. And I didn't understand why I wasn't able to come and sit down to do the podcast, because it's not that deep. Like, this is something I've been doing for a good amount of time. Like, it doesn't take me more than 5 minutes to make a setup and start filming. So I didn't understand why, and I needed to understand why for myself. And today I woke up this morning or this afternoon. It's getting cold in Norway. I'm already getting depressed. Now let's see. But I woke up this afternoon and I was like, let me get a cup of coffee, get some food. Let me see where I am. What's my headspace at? What am I feeling? Why am I feeling down? I feel like I haven't been doing something that I'm supposed to, or I feel like I have been pushing something for so long. It's bothering me at this point. So I started watching this video on YouTube, guys. Everything happens for a reason, right? I went on YouTube just to play something while I was getting ready, because I like to have a voice in my head. Not a voice in my head. I like to have a voice other than the voice in my head. For those who have lived alone, you understand what I'm saying. But so I just went on YouTube, and the first video I found, I'm going to find it and show you, because it's a marvelous thing. It's a marvelous thing that it happened. It's called "Force Yourself to Be Consistent. Everything falls into place." Napoleon Hill Motivation. That is the name of the video. If you want to check it out, check it out. And it was literally talking about breaking down perfection, and how perfection is part of like procrastination. You can tell yourself, I want to wait until I can do this thing perfectly, but then you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait. Instead of just starting it, doing it, it might not be as perfect as you think, but the more you do it, the better you become at it, and the more you progress. So you should focus on progression and not perfection. And literally, how many I didn't watch the whole video. I listened to 15 minutes of this video while I was eating breakfast, while I was drinking coffee, while I was showering, and it's all I needed to hear to come here today. So if you're like me that end up procrastinating sometimes, or even if you didn't start off as procrastinating, maybe you really did have a good reason to take a break, but now you're starting to feel like, okay, the break has been a bit too long. Now it's giving holiday. You should watch this video. So yeah, I listened to it and it just made me think like, yeah, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. Like, I don't need to do makeup in every video. It doesn't need to be a whole grand production. I just need to be consistent and build that discipline that I used to have before, which I have very much lost this past years, I think. So yeah, guys, all of that happened, and that's why I'm here today. So that was a very, very long intro about why I've been a stubborn, lazy gal. But now we know, and so we can move on. And I hope you guys can forgive me, and I have forgiven myself for being a lazy girl. But let's give it another go. The year is not over yet. Tomorrow is the 1st of October, and oh my god, we're almost 10 months in. 2025, 2026 is crippling up on us. She's here soon. Like I said, the days are going by fast. Okay, enough of that. So if you're new here, my name is Megan Albright. I am 22 years old, living in Oslo, and I am the host of this podcast because I love to yap. It's literally called iYAP. Like, anyone in the comment section saying, "Oh my god, you talk too much, like you be yapping. What are you talking about? This is unnecessary." It's called yapping. It's the whole point of yapping is that you just talk. You talk about what you think, what you feel, what comes to your mind. And as someone who has a need to empty my brain, because a lot goes on there, and who is struggling to empty my brain with people, because I always think about, oh my god, what are they gonna think if I say this? What are they gonna think if I'm talking too much about this one topic? Like, am I nerding out right now? It's just so much karma. Sorry, I clocked out that. I was looking for the right words. It's just so much more less pressure to talk on the podcast or talk in the camera. I know it's crazy because people think like, yeah, you're posting it for so many people to see. That is true. Many people end up seeing the video, but before they end up seeing the video, it's only me. Like, there's literally no one in my studio. I can come here and I can say whatever shit I want to say and just empty my mind, empty my brain, and that's what it is. And like, yeah, I think that's what makes it easier for me to be able to have certain conversations or just like be here more than I'm somewhere else. Okay, let's get into today's topic.
Yap, uYAP, yap, 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 uYAP, yap, uYAP, yap, 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 weYAP, yappa, 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 yappa. Megan Albright is a yappa.
So, Afronation. It's in a maposa. Wait. Okay. For those who went to Afronation, you know when someone starts saying, or when the DJ starts saying, when I push it in, 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 and she said, ooh. Oh my God, that was a time. Imagine that 1 week of your life is giving you so much joy, or is giving you so many memories, or so many things to think about or play back, like for the rest of the year. Like, what is that? What is that? We keep living Afro Nation looking forward to the next year. And it's literally like 1 year later. Like, come on. But okay, let's have a breakdown of Afro Nation for those who don't know what it is, and how things go. So, Afro Nation is an Afrobeats piano festival. I don't know if they've had it in other countries. Oh, they do have it actually in the US. Punta Cana, I think, yeah. And in Ghana, yeah. But the one I've been to is the one in Europe, in Portugal. It's usually around the ending of July, ending of June, beginning of July. Depends. Like, it's a week. Well, it's a 3-day festival, but everyone or most people stay there for a week because, like, you need it. You will need that time. You will need the time to settle in. You will need the time to settle out before catching that flight. But yeah, so it's a 3-day festival, and they've had different lineups. They've had Davido, they've had Burna Boy, they've had Thames. This year we had. Was Chris Brown supposed to come this year and cancel? I think it was this year. He should stop. Stop being sick. You artists are not allowed to be sick because do not pay all that money to go there to go and dance to fucking advertising. I don't know why the shit got me lazy right now. I was play. Oh my God, Chris Brown, how could you do that to us? How could you do that to us? I was playing that song in my head, like, before I found out he wasn't coming. And then when I found out he wasn't coming, I was like, how dare you? How dare you be sick? Don't you know you're supposed to take care of your health before a festival? I love you. I'm just complaining because I'm a yapper. But why do you get sick? Do you know how many people are waiting to see you? But he was supposed to be there. Charlie Poppy came. Mary J. Blige came. Who else came? Uncle Waffles came for the Amapiano stage. I think Camon Pella came. Who else? What's his name? But it was a good show. Let's put it that way. It was good. And you can choose different types of tickets. Either the Golden Circle, where you're like basically beside the stage, or you have the VIP, and then you have the general admission. So just imagine the Golden Circle like in the middle, the VIP it's around them, then the general admission is like everywhere else before that. And last year we did the VIP, but I felt like the VIP and the general admission was almost similar. That was my fault because this year I decided to explore like a proper human being. When you go to someplace new and you pay money instead of just going there to dance, I walked around and I realized the VIP had a bigger space than I imagined. I just never went to the other side of the beach. What the heck? It's like, imagine paying for all-inclusive restaurant or all-inclusive hotel, or a resort. You go to the resort, and then after the 3 days or the 1 week that you've spent there, you realize you could get free drinks and you could get a massage every day included in the price. and you love massages. Like nobody scammed you, but like, oh my God, why? Why were you stupid? Why was I stupid? So I explored this time. It was nice. Went to the private beach. The music was booming. Met so many people. Ended up dancing. I love to dance. It doesn't have to be that deep. Dance, like I love to dance. It's important for us to move our bodies. And I'm saying this to everyone out there. It's important for you to move your body. It really helps with everything, happiness, everything. So, yeah, we go there. I go there with a friend. Oh, I don't know how much of the tea should I spill. Okay, let me be my authentic self. Authentic self. So, before going there, I started talking to someone, and it was one of those things where it's like I don't mind like going to a festival and having a love interest, I could say. But things didn't work out as I had hoped it was going. You know, when you think like, oh my God, it's gonna be a bed of roses without the thorns. It was a lot of thorns. Like the thorns were thorning. And before going there, we had a little bit of an issue because I had a different perspective and he had a different perspective. And it got to the point where it's like, I feel like I'm valid in my feelings and he too feels like he's valid in his feelings. And then it's difficult to like find the middle ground. I think when two people are too stubborn and maybe are used to being the ones met in the middle, if it makes sense, it's a bit difficult for them to meet in another middle. That does not make sense, but I can explain it because it really made sense in my brain. It really made sense in my brain. But like, for example, it's like me meeting in the middle is like if you're saying, oh, usually I only eat home cooked meals. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't mind cooking food at home, but I'm not going to be saying I'm going to be cooking you dinner every night. Like, you understand? It will be a stretch because I know that that's not something I can commit to. So I'll cook dinner maybe like 5 times a week, and then the remaining 2 times, either you figure it out yourself or we go out to eat. Now the person is just like, yeah, but like 5 times a week is not enough because I'm used to doing it. I'm used to eating home cooked meals every day. And then in my brain, I'm thinking, like 5 times a week, like you're used to something, I'm not used to it. I'm meeting you in the middle saying that, okay, I can do 5 days. But for you, since that's not what you're used to, it's not enough. And then, yeah, it's difficult to meet in a certain way because maybe in the person's brain, they're thinking, 7 days a week. If you're doing it 5 days a week, you might as well do it 7 days a week because it's only 2 days. I'm yapping, but I hope you guys understand the point. I really hope you understand the point. But anyway, I just felt like I was meeting in the middle, but the middle wasn't enough in certain aspects, and that's all right. I don't think it's the end of the world. But then again, we need to be able to say, okay, fine. Maybe we're not seeing eye to eye. Things cannot move forward. What are we doing here? Like, I don't like when things are in the gray area. So before we went, we had a little bit of an argument. And then get there, I'm thinking, okay, fine, it's gonna be cool. But when you're already irritated, when someone is already like irking you, and then it's like every small thing that the person does now is just like, no. It's like if the person is breathing too fast, it's like, no. No, no, no. So I think that's what I started feeling on the first day when we got there. It's like every little thing now I started like dissecting. And my foster mom always told me the devil lies in the details. And I really believe it's true. When you start like nitpicking and trying to like dissect every little thing, I feel like that's where issues start to come up. And that's where it's easier to like be stuck in the misunderstandings. Because then I'm like, oh, you're touching this thing and it's dirty. And that's what I was doing. Because I'm like, I'm already pissed off. Like, don't piss me off even more. And he's living his best life. He's having fun. He's dancing. He's touching everywhere. And my brain that went to boarding school is like, oh my God, these places are dirty. Like, I don't know who's been where and done what in this place. Like, please don't put your hands on this place and touch me. And all these little things end up becoming a big thing. And the trip just became more and more sour a little bit. We had a great time. It was good vibes still. You try your best to like not let your money go to waste, to put it that way. But I feel like I really learned a lot about myself in this trip. Um, I think it's important to date people who are not exactly like you, because not only do you understand a different perspective or learn about other types of people, I feel like you get to know more about yourself in ways you have never like thought of. And even if you've thought of them, like you've never been like confronted about them in that way. And I think that's what happened to me, like during this trip and after the trip, where it's like, why do I care? Why do I care? Why do I care so much about what other people would think? Those my thoughts, these thoughts that were put on me because of different situations. Was it because of how I grew up that I feel like you can't be touching everything? If you touch it, it's dirty, and like you can't be acting a certain way in public because it doesn't fit the norm. Like you can stand out, but don't be standing out a little too much. You know what I'm saying? Like um don't be doing the snake on the street. Come on. Like the snake dance. For me, it's like certain things became a little bit too much. And I don't regret expressing those feelings. I don't regret like sharing it, because if it bothers me, it bothers me, and it is what it is. But I had to also like reflect on like, why is it bothering me that this person is doing this? Like they're not doing it to me, but why do I feel like they're doing it to me? Is it because we're talking? Is it because I think that when you're with someone, you guys are a unit. So the way you act certain times and in certain places kind of also, not like it reflects me or my character, but like if people see us coming together or they see us as a whole or as a pair, certain things you do is it might affect me and vice versa. So it's just like, how do you talk about these little things that you discover about the other person in a respectful way? And when do you bring it up? Do you bring it up then and there, or do you wait until like after everything has happened, then you bring it up and all of these things? And I will bring it up there and there, because you will see it on my face that I'm like, I don't fuck with this. No, 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 no. So I learned a lot about myself, and I just learned also like, what, I need to relax. Like I need to stop giving too many fucks. Like, and I really want to be my most authentic self. And I felt like this summer holiday gave me a chance to reflect on that and to dissect it a bit more, and to realize like, you know what? I like to curse. I like to say the word bitch. I like to say fuck. I like to be like, oh my god, what the heck? I like to curse a little bit too much, and that's okay. Okay, I've been watching Love Island, USA a bit too much. A little too much. If you guys know that, you're OG. But yeah, I had to like get to the point where I told myself, okay, fine, what has happened has happened. I can't really change it. We can't change it. At least we know that, okay, maybe certain things trigger me or certain things trigger him, and how I react and how he reacts. We ended up being friends, but I think it was still a good experience to see and to have. And I learned a lot about myself, and I hope the person learned about themselves too. And I think that's also one of the greatest gifts you can give a person when you get to know them in a romantic sense, I would say. Like, even if it doesn't work out and you guys don't end up in a fairy tale, you should get something out of the relationship that is positive to you. Yeah, I think it's important to feel like you leave the relationship learning something about yourself, learning something about relationships, about life, whatever the case may be. And that's where things ended for me a little bit, a little bit too much. That was an experience, but all in all, I cannot even complain, because the whole experience was good. I got to meet new people. I got to be a bit more like spread my wings a bit. I feel like sometimes I go out and I'm adamant to talking to people, or I'm adamant to meeting new people. Not like I don't like people in general. Okay. Maybe a little bit. I just feel like it's tiring to get to know people all the time. But like, I think sometimes I kind of like hold myself back a little bit. If someone wants to talk to me and I'm just like, I don't want to fake a conversation, and I don't want to fake interest in wanting to have a conversation with you. And I just feel like if I do, it makes me so fake, and I don't want to be fake and blah, blah, blah. And so thinking about it now, maybe I am a bit black and white sometimes. There can be a middle ground of like, okay, it doesn't have to be a bestie conversation. It can just be talking to someone for 5 minutes and then moving on. I don't know what scares me in that situation. I don't know if it's the fact that maybe I'm scared that they might take the rejection the wrong way, or I'm scared that the conversation is going to take a turn that I don't know, or I'm scared that I won't be able to say no when I really want to say no, and then it's going to be dragging along. And just all of these thoughts just make me don't even want to engage at all. And I think I have been living my life, and I realize I've been living my life in that way of, instead of doing something, if I'm scared of the outcome or if I'm unsure that I'll be able to have control of the situation, I would rather not do it. And that's not a recommended way to live. It works, but I need to learn how to manage situations instead of avoiding them. And that's something I've learned in 2025. I be avoiding. Like, I be avoiding. Stay the fuck away from me. 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet away. Yeah. Speaking of avoidance, yeah, I had a conversation with one of my besties. Shout out to Milena. She we were just talking about life, and relations and stuff. And we're talking about, I think it's called avoidance attachment style, where it's like I can be attached, and then I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I need some feet away. And then when I get some feet away, I can come back and then maybe want to be attached again, and then some feet away. And I think I'm explaining it correctly, but if not, Google it yourself. Yeah. You know what? Let me just Google it right now before I start talking a lot of shit. Before I start talking a lot of shit. Okay. Avoidance attachment style. Let me change this. Avoidance attachment style. Wow, that came up quick. It's is an insecure relationship pattern characterized by discomfort with emotional intimacy, a strong need for independence, and difficulty trusting others, often stemming from childhood experiences of neglect or emotional unavailability from caregivers. Ooh. Yeah, that's me. I'm not even proud of it. How am I going to laugh? It's a coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism. But oh my God. But that is true. Like, what the heck? That is true though. I have realized that I struggle with struggle is a hard word. And I've worked really hard to be more emotionally expressive is the word. So I don't want to use the word struggle, but I would say it took me some time to understand myself and how I deal with emotions and why I deal with emotions the way I deal with emotions. And it's sad to say, but the only way you learn is by doing. And so I've had to learn these things from either being in friendships that I wasn't so emotionally aware of how I deal with my emotions, or relationships where like things just got a bit more emotional than, or a little bit more emotional too fast, or just emotional in general. And I had to put words on the emotions, and like putting words on the emotions is something I also struggle with. So it just got to the point where I'm like, it's too tiring for me to want to resolve in that given moment. And it's either I'm allowed to have the time I need to process this or to figure this out on my for myself, or I'll have to figure it out on my own. And for me, it's always been either or. It's like either I'm figuring this out in the relationship, but then of course I'll voice it to the person, hey, this is something I need to figure out myself, or I can figure it out with you, but I don't need the pressure of you reminding me all the time. It's like, yeah, remember you said you were, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like it needs to happen naturally for me. It needs to happen naturally for me on my own time. And I'm not saying you have to be on my timeline, but like that's just how I prefer for me to deal with things. Um, because I think when I deal with something, when I'm really ready for it, and when I really like put in my time and my thoughts and my effort, it feels more genuine to me, and it feels more like I've really dealt with it. But if someone is either making me come to a conclusion or telling me um how I should deal with it or how I should feel, or um giving me words to understand my feelings, I feel like it's difficult for me to trust it. um yeah, and it just won't work, like it just won't work. So I can agree with this assessment. And a strong need for independence, I have a strong need. Well, I was just explaining it right now. I need to know that it was my choice. I need to know that I understand my decisions. I need to know that if you ask me to back it up, I can explain it to you, not because you've told me, but because I deeply, deeply went through it and understood it. And it might take a year, which it has in some cases. I've like taken a long time to understand my feelings, or maybe it took a long time for me to come to a conclusion about what I feel about a situation. And that's when I'm ready to like dissect it or talk about it or bring it up. And of course, I understand a year later is a long time for a lot of people to talk about something that happened. But if it bothers me, it bothers me. Or if I realize that it bothered me more than I thought a year later, I personally feel like it's valid for me to bring it up then. But if the person doesn't feel like it's valid, that's also all right. But it's like I'm not going to be going in this like back and forth thing either, trying to over explain myself, because I think both people are valid and we can just leave it at that. So I do see that the need for independence is very, very strong, especially for me. Um yeah. I don't know what to do about that one, guys. Like what where do we go from here? What do we do? Where do we go from here? Like what do I do? Um yeah. Yeah. I just hope that, I don't end up alone. I don't think I'll end up alone. I'm 22. I have all the time in the world. But I just hope that when I'm finally ready to be in a proper relationship, and when I've worked on myself to the point where I genuinely feel like, okay, I trust myself like I used to trust myself as a child, then I think things should be fine. But until then, girl gotta chill and just relax. Like, there's a lot of money to be made, you know, there's school to be finished, life to be lived, and all of these things. And I think we need to remember that we are constantly working on ourselves. No one is a finished product, and no one is ever going to be a finished product. So just accepting that also as part of life, I think, has been really good for me. This past for me, this past for me, what am I talking about? This past few months, everybody say amen, amen. The English language will not kill me. Fuck the colonizers. You're stressing me out. Um, yeah. So back to the Afronation, like I was saying, yeah, it was a fun time. If you want to go, save money. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but like shit happens. It's expensive to find a place to stay. You need to buy something to drink. You need to eat. Most people eat outside. It's like you can be like, oh, we can make food at home, but like things happen all the time outside that having the time to go back home to cook, to eat, to go back. I'm sure that people out there who do it a lot more, but it's just not what I want to be doing on holiday, especially not when I'm waking up hungover every day. And I mean every day. I mean, we're going to sleep at 8 a.m. and we're waking up at 11 a.m. Are you dumb? What? What? Um, Coming back from Afronation, and I deeped it. I really deep, like, it's actually a crazy thing to do. Like, drinking every day is giving alcoholism. Like, I wouldn't call us alcoholics, but I would say we're pushing the boundary, you know? Like, why are we drinking tequila at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday? It's holiday, so the day's going one. But still, it's like we're eating food and the guys go, yeah, 6 shots of tequila. And I'm like, oh my God, it burns. But then after 2 shots, I'm like, oh my God, yes, I need me a caprina. Yes, I need me a this, I need me a that. Because you need to be lit before going to the festival. Alcohol is expensive at the festival. But oh my God, it's a long day. There are long days. I don't regret a damn thing. I had the best time of my life. I enjoyed. I danced. I went partying. I met new people. I met new DJs who did a fucking great job. Like, things were giving what they were supposed to be giving, and I don't regret coming back home broke. Like, are you broke if you're rich in memories though? My mother will finish me if she hears me say shit like that. Are you broke if you're rich in memories? If I spend my money eating and put the money in my stomach, am I poor or am I just rich on the inside? You know what I'm saying? Don't use my analogy to spend your money, I beg. Don't go and say Megan said I'm just talking shit. I'm justifying my own expenses, not yours. But it was a great experience. I can't complain. Came back home to Norway, felt the depression hit. Cause after a week of drinking, dancing under the sun, you're always internet maposa. Hey, mabale jelasi. Hey, Denzel. Like out on the sun every day for a week, you're bound to be a little bit depressed. You know, when you come back, I can't even watch the videos. I haven't seen all the videos that I took. Cause why would I choose to depress myself? Why would I choose to look at a time when I was having fun and now I can barely wake up before 10 a.m.? What the heck? So enjoy the experience when you have it. For anyone out there thinking that they want to go to Afronation, but they don't know if they want to go because, like, what are you going to do there? Like, who are you going to go with? You can go alone, first of all. What are you going to do there? Shake some ass. Second of all, spend some money, drink some alcohol, get to know some people, go to parties. Yeah, you don't really need anything more. You don't need to explain yourself more. Just do all of these things and you'll be fine. And I met a friend of mine actually at Afronation and he traveled alone. He was like, I don't want to babysit nobody. I get that. He was like, I went here alone because I don't want to babysit anyone. And you can do that too. I think low key, if I didn't have friends who were going there that I was going to meet, I might just pop outside alone. I love popping outside alone. Like, for those who are following me on Snapchat have seen, like, sometimes if I feel like going out, that's when I'll go out. I'll get dressed. I'll go to the club alone. You probably see someone you know, but like, don't be scared to take yourself out. Don't be scared to do things alone. Don't be scared to be a solo individual. We're all going to die alone and we're born alone. And I know that sounds like extreme or scary, but that's something I've grown up hearing from the adults around me. We'll all die alone. All the decisions you make, put yourself first. I'm not saying be a selfish cock, but like, if it comes down to your happiness or the happiness of others, most times than not, I think you should put yourself first because if anything happened to you today, it's your life. And it's your responsibility to live your life. It's your responsibility to live your life the way you want to live your life. And you can never blame anyone else for the decisions you make and for how you end up and for the regrets you're going to have later in life if you don't live your life. So if you want to travel, travel. You don't have to wait for your friends to have the funds or to be free to travel. Do it yourself. If you want to go on a date in this fancy restaurant, but you haven't had anyone to quote ask you on a date, ask yourself. Like, look at yourself in the mirror if it's important for you someone to be asked, and be like, girl, we deserve to go to that nice restaurant to eat some bomba clap food. Let's go and do that. And then you go do it and you enjoy yourself. If you've always wanted to go skydiving or hiking or something, go hike. And trust me, you may think that you're doing this alone, and yes, you are doing it alone, but chances of you meeting other people on the same path is very high, higher than you think. If you go hiking alone because your friend can go. Most likely you will see people who are also walking the same path. So you have a choice to talk to these people, get to know them. Here's an opportunity the universe is giving you to get to know people, to talk to people, to not be so alone in your solo journey. And you can take it if you want, and you can't if you don't. Sometimes it's nice to do, sometimes it's not nice to do. It's nice to be in your own head. But my point is, there are options. There's ways to do things. Like, you got it, okay? I'm gonna clap for you because you got it. I really think you do, and I think you should do it. Cause why the heck not? Cause why the heck not? Okay, that's enough of my rant about Afronation. If you guys have any questions about Afronation, let me know. I'm going to answer them either on Snap, on Instagram, wherever you guys are watching, on YouTube too. And I think you should take. I recommend everyone to take time to discover who they are. When I say discover who you are, I mean as in like, okay, who is Megan when she doesn't have to go to work or school or she doesn't have any responsibility? If you could wake up today and you had nothing to do, what would you do? Why would you do it? And who would you do it for? Ask yourself these questions every day if you can. And you're going to discover who you are to the core, and you might discover things about yourself that you're not so proud of and things that you're more proud of, and you are going to have some sort of a canvas or a rap sheet, so you know what you want to better, what you want to change, what you want to grow in, or who you want to hang out with, who you don't want to hang out with. You know, the simple things in life that are more difficult than we think.
Yap, you, yap, 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 you, yap, yap, you, yap, 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 way up, yappa, 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 Megan Albright is a yappa.
Another thing I wanted to talk about was, okay, it's a question. So everyone is allowed to reply wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening to it. Tell me your thoughts. We're just having a conversation, right? Depending on the holiday, of course, who you go with and what the plans are you responsible for others on a holiday trip? When I say responsible, I don't mean as in like checking up on your friends. Of course, you should check up on the people you're traveling with. Like, that's a given. You should want to know how they're doing. You should like make sure everyone is safe, first of all. Make sure everyone has eaten. I'm a foodie, so we need to eat. And I realize my mood changes quickly when I've not eaten. So it's important to be fed. Sleep is negotiable. If you want to sleep, you sleep. If you don't want to sleep, that's fine. But like, that's up to everyone. But I mean more so like, if it's a holiday trip where nothing is planned, everything is fluid, do you have to do everything together, or is everyone kind of like allowed to do what they want to do, and those who want to join can join and those who don't want to cannot join? And is that a conversation that is supposed to be had or not had? Because I feel like small things like this you don't think about until you actually travel. And when you get there, everyone is already on a high because we're on holiday. Like your mind is not on, oh, let's have a sit down conversation. I'm sure some people are more used to it maybe, or have been taught to do it growing up and traveling a lot. But like for me, as someone who has done more solo traveling than traveling with friends, I'd never explain myself to anyone. Like I wake up and I do what I want to do because I'm alone and I'm here to go on holiday and I'm here to do what I want to do. But I also know when you travel with friends, again, depending on the friend, it's like, okay, what do we want to do today? Is there anything that you thought about doing? And they might have things that they want to do. They might not have things that they don't want to do. And I might have things I want to do, or I might not have things that I want to do. But I just feel like everyone, before going on holiday, don't you like check out the place, find something you want to do, make an internal plan for yourself. Oh, I want to check out one thing per day, maybe, or go for a walk, or go see the sunset, stuff like this. Um, it's also something I learned this holiday, where it was a situation of, okay, so are we supposed to be making plans together, or do we just tell each other like, yeah, I'm thinking of going to do this and that's what I'm going to go do. If you want to come, you can come. If not, that's fine too. And whose responsibility is it to have these conversations? Like, I know it sounds like a weird thing to ask, or maybe this is like a common answer, like common sense. How don't I know this, Megan? But literally, I'm asking because I'm still getting into these situations. I'm new to this, guys. It's my first time. Oh my god! Don't listen to me. I'm just like, yeah. I'm just asking questions, and these are questions we can answer in the next episode. Um, yeah. It's nice to be back. I can't wait to be more disciplined. I'm praying to God to give me the strength to be more understanding of myself, to give me the strength to procrastinate a little bit less, give me the strength to find a way to deal with being overwhelmed. I think I need to find a coping mechanism for that. I get overwhelmed sometimes quickly, and sometimes it makes me take like 10 steps back instead of just one step. So I need to figure out a way to take one step if I'm overwhelmed and come back or continue instead of just taking a pause and just being stagnant. But I am grateful and thankful to myself for giving me the space to breathe, giving me the space to understand new things about myself, giving me the space to understand new things about the people around me, giving me the space to wanting to be a better friend, a better person, a better daughter, or just a better human being. And just giving me space to relax. I struggled with relaxing. Like sometimes it's okay to do nothing, and I shouldn't feel bad or guilty, all of these things. I should just live in that moment and take it in and enjoy it and do what I love. So we thank God, we thank the universe, we thank you guys. I thank you guys, and I thank God and the universe for all the opportunities I've had, also, all the blessings I've had, all the good people who have come into my life, and all the good people who have been in my life through everything that I've done or haven't done and have decided to stay, and people who genuinely love me and want me to be happy and be a better person and give me the strength and the room to grow. So, thank you guys so much for watching this new episode or listening to this episode if you're listening to it. I would really love for you guys to come with feedback, give me ideas. What would you like me to talk about? You can comment it on any social media platform. Just be like, yo, Megan, by the way, quick topic you can talk about, or how do you deal with depression, or how do you deal with stress, or how do you deal with living in Europe and living quoting well off life compared to maybe people back home, or people you've seen, or people you know, people you've met. I feel like those are the kind of topics I would like to talk about too. I can yap about anything for days. I just need to yap. I just need to have the topic, and I just need to have some time to reflect on it and understand my thoughts before filming it. But all in all, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to follow the podcast on Instagram, iYAP2, as in iYAP TOO. Follow me also on Instagram. It's Megan Albright. It's the same name. Wait, do I have the same name on? Yeah, the same name on TikTok. Show some love. Peace. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye. 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 I'm sure my neighbors are listening to me play this podcast like, what's wrong with this girl? What's wrong with this girl?